it's going to be a little bit more interesting from Beast Coast this game, where unlike in that previous game where they could farm a little bit, smoke, and then punish PSG, they're the ones going to be playing very reactively. You know, push out the waves, bide their time, wait to have a couple items, then they're going to hit their stride and start punishing that over-aggression that we saw in that previous game from PSG.
Absolutely even odds here. You notice that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what's this. Oh, he tried. I mean,
Scouting.
that is the most ambitious Lycan play I have ever seen. To send 2 wolves that, you know, again, they're not invisible, just up into the high ground. Fair play.
I like how Sko just walked his courier over, inspected it, and was like, seen weirder. I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
weirder.
not dying.
From SA, we've seen some weird stuff in our pubs. But yeah, no, it's very interesting because you do have some nice lockdown coming out from the side of PSG.LGD, and it's a little light in comparison here on Beast Coast. But one thing, of course, that Beast Coast has always been very good about is positioning, especially on Whisper and Sko.
Yeah, the important thing to note as well with the Keeper Elite right now is it's playing into an Assassin, so the ability to constantly spam and be able to run away with that extra move speed, it won't be there because of the carapace. And also Whisper, he's played 2 Keeper Elite offlane games on the patch so far, but both times he's gone for double no. Oh, as you see in his quick buy, he's got it there. And then he goes Vessel into like an Orchid build, both games. And it shows here, he's got the same idea. I'm a bit worried about the value of an earned Vessel style build going into heroes, you know, like Slark, like Park, like Phoenix. So it's going to be interesting to see how the instant value is and maybe if there's a different style to play with it. But, you know, he's going to stick to his guns potentially if he goes with that quick buy. And Slark's not going to have fun in this lane when Keeper Elite gets to level 3, level 4.
Well, this is fairly interesting because, you know, again, we talk a lot about positioning, and a Keeper of the Light generally, you know, he can put out that damage, but also if they can close the gap on him, he suffers quite a bit, and that is something that Slark's quite good at. But on the flip side, they have this insurance policy coming out from Schofield, who's going to be able to be in position with those fissures. So, ooh, over in the middle lane, Shao E.
Ooh.
Chris Luck gets the better of him this time around.
Again, I must say, Beast Coast, very diplomatic on their tips. They're tipping each other. They're never aggressive tipping. The entire previous game,
You haven't
not
seen
once.
them in pubs, dude.
Well, I mean, in professional, they're PMA through the roof. They're like, you know what, Chris Luck, great job. That could have been a devastating aggressive tip there, but again, Beast Coast changing up the tip meta for sure. But, you know, we cannot ignore the fact that Zhao Wei did actually go a little bit under tower here, tanking the aggro twice, 3 times, 4 times. Wow, that's, yeah. Again, we have to just accept the fact that
misplay.
Exactly. You know, this is, you know, the coach playing, standing in, not, you know, the most comfortable of mid lane players, but that's unfortunate. Chris Luck will be very happy here, and Void Spirit is the better matchup for Puck. When you think about Puck counters in the mid lane, it's the Tiny, it's the Conqueror, it's the Void Spirit. These kind of heroes that have that ability to push out the lane and just annoy Puck having to play off of her spells.
Which is pretty interesting because I remember when the Void Spirit came out, that was one of the few heroes that could deal with it after the laning phase. But
again, it's like one of those 50-50s as well, right? Like in laning phase, the Void Spirit will have fun, but into the game, that value of the coil against the Void Spirit, against this PL, once you lock down that real hero, it will then layer in the damage from, you know, the Phoenix, the Nyx, the Slark to come in on top. So even if the lane goes quite poorly, Zhao Wei does have a very, you know, clean entry into the game because just coil the core, you know, put on damage on top and have fun.
Q has to be very careful here. He's dead.
Like, this is such an obnoxious...
This is scary for the Slark as well.
Like, this is why Keeper of the Light, in theory, is such an annoying hero because, again, they reduce the time in which you have to channel to get to the maximum damage. So if it's in mid lane, if it's in the side lane, like, mid and carries don't want to play into this, but a little bit of over-aggression here. Great pounce. Gets the kill on Whisper. Like, if he doesn't get a kill here, it's going to be a miserable time, but he connects that pounce. Potentially, you know, he's going to get a double kill here if Schofield isn't juke. Oh, no, he's juking.
He's Schofield, dude.
I'm sorry for doubting him.
He's Schofield. This guy is always, you know, the one who breaks the smokes, tanks the ganks, like his positioning, and he always makes them really work for it. Not to say that they wouldn't have been able to, because they definitely could have, but he's known for being an escape artist. I watched him buy a jetpack once. Oh, hold that thought, Hector. Sitting a little low here. They can immediately turn back around, punish E. But yeah, I watched this guy buy a jetpack in someone else's base and fly his way to safety on a clockwork.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I love the aggressive item purchases that then allow you to escape. That's the best usage of the enemy fountain.
Also, jetpack's just hilarious, let's be really honest.
Unfortunately, Clock's not really picked anymore. Well, I don't think we've seen it so far in at least this tournament.
We saw it.
Have we?
Yes, we have.
Oh, Cool. Thanks, Moxley.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what game that was.
Yeah, take a look. It was very well done, actually, because he was able to separate a lot of the fights very
Hype.
convincingly.
Oh yeah, now it's good. Yeah, okay, we have seen it. Yeah.
Chris Luck getting the taunt off over here, but should be able to bottle up that rune over on Zhao 8.
This Luck's actually having great fun. I thought it'd be a little bit annoying, but I guess because he's got just more regen, he's accepted that the keeper like will be spamming him out of lane. If you have more regen, you can just heal up in the trees, then come back. I think the main thing is when we saw the start of core coddles, people weren't really ready for it.
Exor?
And they were playing pretty low.
Okay. Vector was sitting very low in that bottom lane for like half a second there. He kept pushing the limit, so I wasn't sure if FaithBeyond was going to be able to take advantage of that. How do you slow down this Lycan from getting this this wonderful new item?
Realistically, you're not slowing him down, you're ensuring that your cores are keeping up.
Okay.
Like Phantom Lancer, he wants to be able to then rotate to the jungle when the Lycan looks for the tower, as Shaker might die here, should die here, unless he breaks more ankles.
He should.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'd have to be, you know, a miracle worker to get out of that one. But no, back to your point about the Lycan, it's the idea that when Lycan has the Dominator and is looking at your tower, the Keep Light rotates in, the Lycan, the PL then moves to jungle or another lane, and you're just moving around your cores to deal with the push. It's the same concept of like playing against old patch Broodmother. Like in lane, you want to try and bully, and then as soon as he gets to like that 6 or when that kind of pushing power, you have a hero that can make that play. So this is where the Keeper, like that will be his job, just to move on down and protect the tower for as long as possible.
A bit of a silence being chopped off here on Chris Luck. Does have a couple bottle charges left, sitting a bit low on that mana. And they are rotating quite a few heroes over here towards this mid lane, trying to secure up. Runes, it is indeed bottom. Schofield has found it out and will wait for his core to come grab it.
Yeah, this is a nice change up because, of course, in the previous game, it was beastcoast who made the first move, right? And then this game, PSG, then bringing in the supports early just to protect Zhao 8 for a little bit longer.
Interesting. They actually opted to give the Indus rune over here. Whisper, though, top lane is getting punished pretty badly by this tri-lane, so he is going to end up dead.
You know, they're trying to make a move onto FaithBeyond bottom with the Invis Earthshaker.
He's trying to get some of these body blocks off FaithBeyond, though.
It's not going to happen.
And I'm not sure if they just decided, maybe not worth it, let's let Ektor just farm, but they have the sentry, They have the sentry, that's it.
Yeah, and they also didn't really have the resources because Samus had no mana. They couldn't then apply the slow, and also, you know, Lycan, this build, he's already got the Dominator. Like, offlaners, you don't really start with items, you then instantly buy the Helmet Dom, have that additional armor and regen, and you're living the dream. It's why this build is so broken. It's because the build-up, as an offlaner, you can start with already like one of the components within the first 2 minutes of the game. Like, you're not being punished by having to buy, you know, a Ring of Protection, a Quelling Blade, regen, then start buying. Like, you instantly start investing into this item from minute 0 until when you complete it, you know, minute 14, 15.
Ooh, Chris Luck is getting hunted, though. Looks like they should be able to get the final hit off. And that is a kill for Zhao 8. Stinger also getting bullied now by quite a few creatures coming out from the side of PSG.LGD. Whisper making his own rotation. Not quite enough damage to put out over onto Zhao 8. They'll end up using the Dream Coil, try to hold him into place a little bit longer, but the Illuminate coming in will be able to take out Puck.
There's so much damage.
It's silly to think about how much damage he can do this early.
He wound that up for like not even a second, and Puck's like, oh well, sorry, I'm dead. It does help as well that the Puck doesn't actually have any points in phase shift.
Yes.
But playing into the Void Spirit, you just want to be able to push out lanes with the changes of the damage. You kind of need to probably put those points into other spells as well.
Who's used to a ganking coddle though too, right?
Just zooming on in, yeah.
He's in queue, he's stunned up. Needs one more hit there and Chris Luck will get his revenge.
This is a nice recovery from Beast Coast because initially PSG...
Ooh, okay. That's a good kill here for Ame.
Like, the supports on PSG have just been running around the map right now. Like, you see top lane enabling the Slark, they then instantly move bottom to cover the Lycan. Like, they are making so many moves. Beast Coast have to start killing this or at least punishing these supports.
Yeah, already having used that Spike Carapace. FaithBeyond, though, is going to try to run down Whisper here, and he's not looking too great because he needs some more help. He does have the Illuminate, though, breaking some ankles, turning right back around again. He's very, very fast in this wolf form, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite fast enough. Spirit Lance comes in, not quite enough damage. Zhao 8 is rejoined now, and they do have all these creeps that are chasing after Whisper. He tries to use the Blinding Light. And it's a highway chase here. He's trying to use some of this fog. He's actually going to make it out alive. All right, because they've got a new target now. Chris Luck joining in. Xin putting out some damage, but it's a whole lot of things happening for not a whole heck of a lot. Oh, well, this could be very big here for PSG.LGD as they'll leash up Phantom Lancer. He doesn't have the mana to be able to run away here, especially not with that Dream Coil being attached to him as well. So down he goes.
That's early on the value of Keeper Light. When you pop the ultimate with your Illuminate, you're then obtaining the heal. Doesn't matter if it's day or night. And you have the Blinding Light to deal with the group. So he's able to barely survive. But as a consequence of that, the PL gets a little bit comfortable. Like, haha, my Keeper Light's kiting them all. I'll go far. No, bam. Zhao Wei instantly TPs in, coils, and gets the kill. So now Slark is at 4.5k net worth to the 3.9 of PL, and that is just a disparity of how he's been left alone farming, whilst PL, he's under that constant pressure and poke and prod right now from PSG.
I think this is a good solution here for PSG.LGD because they want to be aggressive. They don't want to allow Ektor time to farm.
Yep.
And of course, when you're playing Slark, you want to make sure that you are in the lead. You don't want to start to fall behind. I'm going to try to turn this back around though. Stingers here, a couple clicks. You can see E makes his own rotation. But they're going to back off after that and just go right back to getting these items online.
Yeah, that's the key thing. PSG, they're probably going to all buy that kind of one active fighting item and then look to play with the Lycan, because going into a later portion of the game, when the PL can stand his ground, like if he gets coiled and he's got like the Skadi, the Manta, and all these kind of like the Butterfly, if he can just stand still and A-click and spawn the illusions, he's not going to care about this single coil. But right now, this is the big window where PL hates playing Dota. You get coiled, you get pounced. Slark is really good against PL early on because you'll connect onto the real PL, be able to lock him down. He can't then doppel from that, and you're going to get these clean kills. It's why you see Arme leaving the top lane early on. He trades his tower just to be able to start applying some more pressure on the PL. And it's delay this PL's timing by 5-10 minutes early on. It will give your team so much more room to play into the game.
They're definitely applying this pressure. Schofield making his way bottom, does have the Echo Slam if they decide to try to fight. It's taking too much damage though right off the bat. There it is, the Echo Slam comes out. He's trying to buy a little bit more time and he's gonna get leashed up though. No breaking ankles, not this time.
Again, beastcoast support, unlike in that previous game where they were so excellent moving around the map, getting plays and kills together, they're really struggling. They feel like they're reacting quite a lot to PSG and also kind of just not being in the right place at the right time. And it's going to need a little bit of time. Like this Earthshaker, in theory, it's very good against Slark or Puck, right? These hard elusive heroes, you commit that slam, you get the kill, then you have the advantage of numbers, you go for the next. But when both are in the game, you have to have like the best value slam in your life where you get both of them, or you have to hope that you have enough stuns after killing this elusive hero to kill after. So yeah, PSG just drafting nicely to punish this Earthshaker pick, which in theory could have had a nice place in the game.
So we talk about a lot of these items that are going to be activating for the side of PSG.LGD because they're getting a nice start. So it's going to be the Blink Dagger for the Puck, and then is the Slark already activated at this point? Like, is he going to? Because he's already making these moves.
Oh yeah. So I think as soon as he got the Echo Saber, he can join with his team and just start fighting and poking. He's then going for a Shadow Blade to even further commit to that play. Like, we might have seen him go a bit more greedy, but that just allows PL to play the game. I think right now, before Manta defuse on PL, you can just leash onto him and you can force the 1v1.
Ektor already running away. They have the leash, they have the egg, they have the silence. There's only so much that Whisper can really do. Get the blinding light off, but it's still going to be a kill for Zhao 8.
Ooh.
The egg pops off over on the back line. Chris Luck joining into the fight now, hoping that maybe he can get a grab over onto E or someone. Silence getting thrown out over onto the Phoenix. He's going to fall. Chris Luck's courier, though, also gets taken down during the engagement as he is chasing after Faith Bien and E. Can he get anything done, though? Nice Impale coming out from E will slow them down. They've got that whole zoo, the whole circus, the whole shebang, just trying to just buy some more time, buy some more space so they can retreat.
Yeah, PSG are going to be really happy with that. They traded Phoenix's life just to be able to kill the PL, and also beastcoast used Global for that. Meanwhile, you've got the Lycan farming, Puck farming, like all the cores are farming, having a jolly good time. And mention about these cheaper items, Zhao 8, he realizes, unlike, let's say if this was nothing to say right now, this might have been a quirkier build, a bit more kind of in your face, I will try and kill you and be annoying, but he's just going for the blink ags. He realizes this exact play that he commits here, that's all he needs to do in this game to get his team into it, right? Commit that coil onto the PL, onto the Void Spirit, layer it with an egg, and then, you're good to go.
Sounds like a recipe. And then you layer the egg on top of your Dream Coil.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a great dish, and
Clearly, it's a great dish.
I will be very clear. I honestly, you know how you didn't like Silencer, like the idea of Silencer. I hate Slark. As a 5 player, there is nothing more beautiful than a game of vision, dewarding, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
It's great. But then Slark's in the game, and he just like completely deconstructs the idea of vision. You can never have these lingering wards, and yeah, it upsets me as a 5 player that Slark is able to do this, but luckily it's only one hero in the game that has this like innate way of auto dewarding you. You could probably put Zeus in there too, but yeah.
I like that that's the reason you don't like Slark, because for me, I don't like Slark because he can purge off like really expensive items, and like that seems a bit...
That's true as well, but yeah.
He's going to get found by Xiao8, of course, makes his own rotation, gets off a couple of hits.
Really nice move from the Nyx, and it's why it's so good against his Keeper Light. You're always able to, cut deep, and also where the tier 2 is placed there, you're able to actually get behind the trees and find and have a little poke around and isolate that Keeper Light.
This does give you some information though on the side of Beast Coast, because you just saw them in the bottom lane, and they are smoked up. It's going to be Chris Luck who runs into the puck, who has popped his invis.
Good D-ward from Stinger there. Like they have to get some D-wards here, because like if you look at the minimap, they have no vision on Beast Coast. They are victim to the Slark right now. And that ward's going to instantly get D-warded as well. Yeah,
immediately.
There are 0 wards right now for Radiant.
Mark here, beautiful egg, beautiful coil, plus the sets, hold silence, holding him into place. They're going to try to focus on the egg. Can they do it fast? If they do manage to follow with Echo Slam, beautiful takedown on Faith Beyond now running for his life. They've already taken down E. Can they get Chris Luck? It's not quite enough damage. Look at the Illuminate. Can they do any more? As Xiao8 jumps onto the back line, clean up crew. Chris Luck and Stinger both go down. The Fisher does connect, plus that extra burst. Now he's got the shift. Can they get a couple more hits off? Yes, they can. There's a mega kill streak eliminated. And now they've got a Cardi. They do have to deal with the dragon though.
And then the 6th man on PSG is still alive. That is the dragon who gets to push out the lane. But no, I was just talking about the lack of vision from Beast Coast, but when PSG are playing so close to the tower, you don't really need to have that, because you're able to connect clean with your spells after. And then, yeah, you kind of get baited in a little bit here. The egg is, of course, very close, and you have the all the ranged heroes there, the Silencer and the Keeper Light instantly target the egg. Earthshake gets the walk-in, the walking in slam, and yeah, they die. And this is where the value, I was worried about the value of the Vessel, but if Whisper does just throw it onto the Lycan, just throws it onto the puck, it's just going to annoy them, especially with the puck build, where you go straight for the blink, no defensive item. It's going to kind of disrupt their ability to play the game, and yeah, PSG just running into the trap of Beast Coast.
Nice little bit of a dodge here. They're going to go right back in. Step forward. They have their eyes on puck. They'll happily take E, and maybe they'll take a puck as well.
Oh, that was smooth.
Very smooth. Very tidy, and they'll run into a little bit of that circus here, but...
That's, of course, the Ags on Chris Luck with the DD. Just allows him to jump into these kind of messy engagements, but have that security of everyone being, silenced. Yeah, the game's actually not going so bad for Beast Coast. That middle fight just kind of opened them up, and it's about buying time. Like, if you look at the cores right now on PSG, the Lycan and the puck, they're playing very sacrificial because they're trying to get themselves into the game. Like, Xiao8 is buying for his team. Lycan, of course, is doing the Zoo stuff, but they've not really been able to take these towers, because the one time they pushed, they ran straight on into the Keeper Light and the Earthshaker.
Sunray over onto Chris Luck. Again, they've already used their stun, so he's going to be able to walk away.
Coming back mid once more. And this is where the idea of the Helm of the Overlord is a little bit different on certain players, because like we saw in Tundra when 33 had it, he'd get the dragon but send it to the other side of the map. So it's like, you fight us or you fight my creep. Here, PSG, they're playing around the creep. They're allowing the Slark to play elsewhere, and they are treating it like that 5th man within the team, or that 6th man, sorry. Which it's a different style, and maybe it could be the shortcoming of PSG, where they don't have constant map pressure, and it's more like they're focusing on one lane, which enables this Keeper Light, this Earthshaker style draft, where they thrive when it's one lane pressure, when they can sit together, cover each other, and push out the lane. But when there's not multiple lanes coming in at once, Beast Coast, they're going to be able to farm up, and you can see that when 3 of their cores are now sitting comfortably behind the Slark.
How concerned are you with the... Again, it's not a huge net worth. Ekra walks right into E. Dodges away.
But gets coiled though.
Coiled up. The rest of the team not really close enough. I don't think they're going to be able to save him in time, although he's moving pretty quickly. The Echo Slam coming out here from Schofield buys just enough time. Chris.Luck jumping onto the back end. They want to just absolutely remove this puck from this fight, and he's trying, but he's one more hit. He's still alive though, thanks to the Essence Ring. They'll turn right back around again, get the kill over onto Chris.Luck. Schofield now on the run, so is Stinger. They do not want to get chalked down here by the Slark, but they are just running full force, full tilt at them. Jumping forward again, Zhao 8, he was sitting so low, but he's still alive and he's able to help, and it looks like they're going to be able to get Stinger here. They just need a little bit more vision. Has a salve. He's actually going to be all right, and they go for the egg, trying to find anyone that they can. Not going to be able to do it. The buyback now coming up from Sko. They want to try to punish Ame here. It's going to be hard for them to get their hands on him, though.
And Earthshaker buyback in as well, just trying to get a kill on the escape, but of course, you know, Slark being very elusive, doesn't really care too much about the fissure, purges it off and runs away. Yeah, the start of that fight, it looked very, very close where they might have been able to kill off the PL, but then Beast Coast, they feel like they can maybe even, you know, take the fight when they have that, you know, counter initiation. But they didn't really have the layered damage, right? It was like a Earthshaker slamming one, Voice Brick going on someone else, then they connect up together.
Uh-oh, this Phoenix doesn't have the Icarus dive up for another couple seconds. He's
so
dead.
much damage.
So dead.
Again, Beast Coast, you know,
Wholesome.
they're tipping each other. Very wholesome. Yeah, very nice.
Very wholesome. Chris.Luck spots himself a little fishy here, but it's a bit of a bait because there is a puck nearby. Whisper, though, joining into the fight here. He's going to try to use some of that binding. Knock back here onto Ame, immediately purging back. Zhao 8 trying to keep him alive. Still got a couple seconds before he's going to be able to disengage. And they have E joining back in. They're thinking about going right in again. And you have to think that Chris.Luck has to know, but that's beautiful play from the Nyx Assassin. Waiting patiently to pop that Spike Carapace and stun Chris.Luck.
Yeah, like these pickoffs are so close because now you see from Keeper of the Light, the build that I mentioned before, he did actually go for it. He went for that Vessel, went for the Orchid. So he's going to be able to kill the Slark if he wastes his Dark Pack. He can kill the puck if he blinks in and isn't ready. He doesn't have anything defensive. So it is good. Like, that play bottom, it could have easily just been a dead Slark and Beast Coast capitalize on it, but very, very close on the Dark Pack into the Orchid. And then, of course, in the counter plays and Innocence running on in and getting to use the good old Carapace, because if he presses this button, it's going to either stun the Keeper of Light or the Voice Brick, because it's pretty easy to hit these big AoE spells.
Definitely nice foresight in there, realizing that Chris.Luck was going to get quite greedy.
Wait, Moxie, for the first time in Pro Dota, we might actually... Oh, no, it doesn't actually die. Forgive me, I'm wrong. He just spawned a new one. It's a great item.
What an item.
Dude, that's a... Ooh. It's funny, because like everyone always thinks it's going to be the Ancient that he's going to slap it on, but of course you can just put it on any creep. So you can just buff up anything. It's great.
I mean, we saw the Chad creep in the base the other day. So much health, so much damage.
I mean, teams could lean into it a bit more. You know, Invoker could buy it for Alacrity. You could get the Ogre Bloodlust on it. You know, there's so many more ways that you can get this creep into the game. Like, 6-man rosters were shortly used during DPC. This is the next evolution. Just get everything and pump it on him. Go.
Hold that thought as Stinger is going to throw out the silence. They'll turn back around. They take out Zincu. There's not going to be any egg available this time around. Faith Bien also running now for his life. Stinger is getting munched away, though. Follow up, beautiful Dream Coil. Puck's going to be able to pick off Stinger. And over on the side here, this is not looking great for Chris.Luck. He's going to have to buy a bit more time. They have the Spirit Vessel, though. The stun, it's looking nice, but they follow up again, and they'll take down E. And it looks like they'll use the Echo just to make sure they can take down Ame.
Yeah, this is now the benefit, the true perk of having the Earthshaker, right? It's like when he finds a hero, you're gonna get stunned, you're gonna die, and maybe like you could argue Aeon Disc might be needed.
After
Yeah, there's so much presence on the map. Like Keeper Light, he runs around so quickly, and this build, you know, different to what we've seen from other core Keeper Lights. He now goes to the blink. He's now an assassin. Like this is devastating. He might
Nothing like the geriatric assassin.
But like, if he goes for, I think he had Hex in his quick buy. Like,
Yes.
he goes for a Hex.
Oh my God.
He could then go for, you know, the shard after. And then suddenly, he's going to be bringing this PL around the map, doing whatever he wants, and really punishing PSG.
Is Whisper the only one who's been running this particular build? Or is this like a common pub build?
In regards to the core, I've seen it more... I mean, it's literally since yesterday that people really kind of subscribed to the idea.
I don't know. There were a lot of people on Twitter that were saying, that was my idea.
There's a lot of people... I mean, we were playing it in unranked, I won't lie, about 2 months ago. So maybe the unranked scene in Europe was the true believer in it. But I can check now for you if you'd like.
Thank you. I would enjoy a cheeky stat.
You know, I'll scroll back and we'll see who was the first person Ooh.
Unrefutable proof. Do we have it?
Ooh. I mean, so since the new patch,
Yeah.
Skem was the first one to play it.
Okay.
And then it was Zai played it.
And is it
Yang
always
played it. I mean, everyone
Is it always
played
this build though? Is it always the Orchid
No, so we got
vessel? Because I know the Dagon is the popular one.
Yeah, Dagon's the
other
most popular. Everyone else is going for like some E-Blade boring stuff. But no, yeah, it's basically Dagon. Most of the core players who I see playing it are doing the 9 build we saw yesterday, which is the Dagon. But this is the first version of Vessel Orchid.
Doesn't quite have the vision here because we do have the Shadow Blade online for Slark. But yeah, I think it's really interesting how you start to see, certain trends manifesting themselves in different regions, but with different items. I think that is actually really cool about Dota.
Well, I think that's the mark of a player who's trying to at least innovate and understand, right? Because you see a play, let's say like the Winter Wyvern build, right? Like,
Sco? Why is Sco that far up?
Maybe he was trying to, eat through his buyback death in a very aggressive position.
Perhaps. We also have Global Silence, but perhaps I can turn this back around over to Ame. But Whisper has to be careful. It's way too much damage. He can't be that front and center, but they do manage to get the kill on Ame after Whisper passes here, and they have too much lockdown. This is definitely going to be a dead K1.
Wow. Oh, have you seen K1's items as well? I thought he was going to go for a heart and just be like tanky in the fight, but no, he's just gone, no. Let's just go straight for the Abyssal. Okay. Whew. That I've not seen this build before, where you go 2 items into Abyssal Blade. Maybe in previous patches where I had that range to connect on, but okay.
Let me tell you a story of something called SA Dota T.
Oh, please. I have a tea here. I can sit back and listen to that fine story.
Maybe another time. Maybe next time we're gathered around the campfire.
Yes.
I will spin you a yarn of the SA Dota and how they do things a bit differently. But yeah, it starts off, and Whisper he never wants to be that close to literally everyone. So it's a very expensive fight.
You can see how this fight, it will bode well for beastcoast in the future, because Stinger, as he's about to die, he gets off the ultimate when Slark doesn't have Dark Pack.
Right.
And he doesn't have that defensive item. Mm-hmm. So you get to see the trade of PL killing Slark. And right now, Slark, he's looking for the Skadi. And that is going to be still a big window for, this Abyssal Blade style of build from PL. Because if he's itemizing for kind of existing within the fight, when you get that clean initiation of the global into slam into PL lockdown of Abyssal, you are going to be able to 100-0 these elusive heroes, the Puck, the Lycan, and the Slark. So I like the fact that they have identified on Beast Coast, they don't have stuns. They're buying a Hex, they're buying the Abyssal, they're playing for the game and not for like we were mentioning earlier, what's like the normal thing to do. It's like, because earlier we could have been mentioning, the PL needs to buy a Heart or a Skadi, but no, they're playing for the game that they're in right now, and that's it's interesting stuff.
Makes sense for sure. I hope that, in the future, we're seeing a lot of these heroes kind of getting a nice little facelift and some pretty changes and whatnot.
Are we on about Morphling model now, or?
No, I hope they never change the Derpy Dragon. I hope that is just a legacy. We will always have it. They are going to try to just take down this Ancient Creep very quickly. Look at them trying to get the final hits off, and they're able to do it. But they will end up losing Creep.
He just lost the tower to a Creep.
Ector, this is way too good. But the rest of the team is there with a nice stun. They follow up with the Echo Slam. It's beautiful. They take down E, they take down Ame. I don't think they were ready for that at all. God, I don't even think I was ready for that.
No, I saw the Nyx and I was like, all right, maybe Nyx is going to get picked off here. Then Slark just goes, whoop, I'm in too, and dies as well. I'm loving the Shaker right now. I'm loving the combination of Silencer and Shaker. I think the fact that they were able to survive through what PSG's draft wanted to do early on, they're now kind of in the fun part of Dota where you have the vision, you connect your big spells, and you're going to be able to make the plays. And you can even question Slark's going to have to think about BKB soon, because when you see K1 dodge there, like, of course this is like perfect CC where it's global into instant fissure. Like, even if you had a BKB, you're going to be dying in that position. But maybe playing less pickoff orientated could enable PSG more entries to the game, because Beast Coast,
oh dear,
they're not allowing PSG to have any of these moments. Like, whenever they're farming aggressively on Beast Coast, the heroes are right behind them. They're ready. Like, if K1 even got stunned there, you're going to see these spells come in play. So, yeah, PSG, they're not really, I guess, respecting how ready Beast Coast are to fight at any minute.
They're definitely showing up today with these very clean pickoffs that they've got. I mean, it's always fun whenever you're starting to see, heroes like Sand King, Shaker, stuff like that start to get picked up, especially right near TI time, right?
I mean, Shaker's like, literally, like, it's Shaker, Enigma.
Sometimes Faceless Void.
Sometimes. Actually,
Not
no,
always.
I think, Void's one of the better ones because you miss a lot of Chronos as well. It's kind of like
the collective groan from the crowd.
And also, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think Shaker's the best though because it's also the hardest one when you think about an arena with the base of the slam.
Yeah.
That's skin tingling.
All right, well. It's interesting, too, to note that Whisper at one point, he was looking at that Dagon. He was considering it, ends up going for the... this Burb needs to be careful. Hector's just chasing after him in his own base. There's no place safe for Zinq.
Oof.
He's just dead.
And he's on the buyback. He's dead for 50.
Oh, okay. Shao8 trying to be a little cheeky here.
But this is an ageless PL. Like, Slark does not enjoy playing into, well, first of all, PL, and second of all, an ageless PL, surprisingly enough. It's a weird concept, but yeah, now K1, with the Abyssal Blade, he can do whatever he wants.
Yep,
and when you're backed up by the Keeper Light, like, look at this. Really, he's stoned
and again.
Healed up as well. Like, this is pretty troublesome. And that's why you see PSG, split pushing in the bot lane.
They take the tower. They're going to try to make enough moves here over onto 5th man. He's so speedy, though. They'll knock back. Can they get enough damage? He's silenced. A couple more hits here. Should be able to do this. He's just so damn fast, though. Can they get their hands on this measly pup? And they just cannot do it. He's too quick. Spear Vesson, though, is ticking him down. Is he going to... Yeah, he's going to try to lifesteal off it. Gets himself some nice treats as...
Okay.
I think. And then also Schofield gets picked off to the side. PSG.LGD realizing that he is very much alone.
That's really good, though, from PSG because they're able to, barely survive on the Lycan bot, instantly then try and find a pick-off. And I'm excited. We got the Ags Lycan, which means, of course, with the Wolf Bite, he can put that on his Slark, and then both of them get to run around.
Old-fashioned wolffish.
It's going to be good. The Wolffish running around. Which is simply, it's going to make it even harder to lock them down.
Ooh,
unless he's here
less that
by
happens.
himself.
Oof. That hurts.
Yeah, I've not seen the Lycan Ags in some time, so yeah, it'll be exciting to see if it pays off. But Slark does need to start playing with his team a little bit more, and ideally, I want to say the BKB, but if you look at his quick buy once again, like he's just itemizing in the hope that his team will tank the spells in the future. Because like right now, I guess how he's playing, everyone was like, why is he not buying a BKB? But I guess if he starts playing with his team and he's able to play defensive away from the slam, away from the global, then sure, having more damage is going to be very key. But right now, with his playstyle, a BKB would be pretty good.
Is this a situation like Sundarin has mentioned where, a cord starts needing too many things?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's, I guess, playing into the PL right now. Like, he's already got the Abyssal, about to complete Butterfly. Like, on your Slark, you want to have an MKB, you want to have a BKB, you probably want a Butterfly of yourself. Like, you need so many items.
They're closing in on Whisper over here. Yeah. A nice clean pick-off here coming out from PSG.LGD. They got to feel very good about that. But Hector is backing out of the base now because it seems like he is attracting their attention.
Yep, beastcoast just kind of poking and prodding, emulating that first game. It was around about the 30-minute mark as well. They were playing heavily into PSG's side. They take a fight one side, they start split pushing the other.
Look how fast.
It's so annoying. Why?
This dragon, oh lord.
But like, luckily, as each game progresses from yesterday to today, like the impact of the helm is going a little bit worse and worse, right? Like maybe in pubs it's probably still very, very strong, but at least we're seeing in competitive games, teams are reacting to it a little bit better. Maybe showing that it's maybe not, hardcore broken, but still broken,
I like that. Look at the way both of these teams are playing. They both have smokes going, but they're both circling around their cores. Chris Luck breaking the smoke to jump forward immediately over Atame, plus the Echo Slam. He's just gone. There is no Slark for the spite. This egg is not looking like it's going to survive at all either, although it sits very, very low. And they do manage to get the kill onto Schofield. This dragon is now chasing after Stinger. He's just going to try to fight the PL.
Really nice positioning from beastcoast. Like, they trade their two supports, but they get that kill on the Slark. And once again, when you appear, like, the Shaker, it's such a cool concept against Slark, against Puck, because you need to either have insane reactions, or you're just going to get comboed down, because you are heroes that rely on Dark Shift or your Phase Shift.
Okay, we do have the teleport coming out, Hector. The Aegis is gone. He's gonna try to fight through here. The silence, though, it's not looking good. And is he gonna be? Oh, he's gonna try to dodge. Is he gonna be able to do it? No, they'll be able to chase down. I was wondering if he tried to do a cheeky play where he takes the illusion sort of thing, but not the case. A nice kill.
Again, I'm not Kyle. I'm not from the Americas, but if it was, he'd probably be saying about how this is, you know, some Arteezy farm pattern right now, because, you know, you have the Aegis, you're in the enemy Ancients, you die. It sounds pretty classic, but alas, yeah. So, I guess PSG just capitalizing on the timing of the Aegis. One of the best things in Dota. It's pretty much non-existent in pubs, but, you know, it can be what you need to come back into a game.
They've been very smart. They've been trailing Ector using the Wolves and also using the Nyx Assassin, so they can keep tabs on it. If you look, he's been following him for quite a while using both the Wolves and that.
And then you
so
have
then
the
you have the puck, just goes right on in.
Exactly.
Jan's here. And how do you know, he's a powerful man, but not powerful enough when you got this many big baddies chasing you.
Yeah, and that's why PL, you see, he is looking to buy the BKB.
They'll laugh. Just like, whoops, that's on my.
I promise I had the Aegis, guys, I promise.
Uh-oh, this is not looking good for Schofield, but it's looking real nice for Ame, who gets himself a kill. And it looks like they're going to perhaps try to find a little bit more here.
Yeah, they're ramping it up.
Bottom lane, Zhao. The silence off, plus the Dream Coil. Will snap. He's got the Aeon Disc, though. They should be able to run to safety back into the base.
Yeah, that's good. The way that PSG, they found the PL kill, but then instantly sweep across the map and then just start trying to find more and more. And you see from the positioning of beastcoast, like they're now pretty much locked into their base, and it just allows PSG to start building a lead. And once PL's alive, you'd like to see him, you know, connect with his team and make that play, but if you get coiled without the BKB, you can easily get 100-0. So they have to respect that without the Aegis advantage that we just mentioned, crossing the river and making these plays isn't going to be as easy. And at any minute against PSG's lineup, they can just bomb it down a lane. So if you do make a misplay and you die on the PL or you don't have buyback, you're going to lose racks. That is the insane value of the Lycan. And he is, you know, top net worth on his team with auras galore.
Good old aura Dota. I predict this is going to be the patch of auras. It's going to be the patch of lines. I think you were casting it the other day when I mentioned that. You know, before it was all circle Dota. This time I think it's the heroes that have lines.
The thing is though, right? Like if you tweak the item a little bit, like this Helm of the Overlord, it's going to completely change the idea of what the patch is. Like when you click on an item and it fills the entire screen, you know it's probably giving a little bit too much, right? Like if you hover on AC, for example,
Skywrath Mage's ads would like to talk to you.
Balanced item, not so balanced. Balanced item, not so balanced item. You see, like again, I'm not an expert here, but I think that's probably a good indicator.
You're literally an expert. You're literally sitting in the
you got me.
Here.
I was just testing you. But I think that's a pretty good example of if an item's good or bad is this pure size of the information.
So what do you say to Skywrath Mage's ads then?
If I could remember the voice line, I'd repeat it right now.
Because that is quite long. But there we go. We have a dragon slain.
Oh, wait, I just realized, JJ, do we not have the stats of like Helm of the Overlord things killed? Do we have that? I'm sure we do, right?
It's going to take him a moment to respond.
No, that's fine.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, we could find out in the future. We'll find out what best team is able to cope with it. Look how majestic it looks.
I'd say SG was the best team to cope
that
with it
is
so
true.
far,
They did
since they
really well.
Beat the Zeus strat the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at this. It's a big tanky Thunderhide here. Push back the pups.
It just doesn't even care about the solar bind. It's like, yeah, sorry, mate. See ya.
It's a glowy dinosaur now. It's fine. It's all good. Are seeing some play though towards the Roche pit here.
Hold on a second. Neutral items. They're called neutral items. Why can't the neutrals use them?
These are mysteries that
Why
I have
not make the Zoo meta more Zoo meta?
Oh my god, no. Oh no. Then we just have like...
There's so many neutrals,
That's like
right?
another hero then at that point. If you've already taken over one, you've given it all of its bonus stuff, and then you follow up. Chris Luck, top lane, trying to make a play here over onto Slark. Does have to be careful, because just like that... Oh, they have the backup though, with the fissure. Schofield looking for this opening, goes in, gets the hit. They get a nice Dream Coil off as well, trying to buy just a bit more time, but it's not going to be enough. They'll end up losing E. Zhao 8 hiding in the tree line. Whisper trying to find him. It is nighttime. He does have bad eyesight, this old man with a flashlight.
He doesn't have a TP on Jiawei, so he's going to be locked up in here for the next 10 seconds.
They do have to go home, though.
Exactly.
The circus is coming to town.
And this is what I mentioned earlier. When PSG were initially playing around this helm, they were playing very, locked into one area. But now they're playing the map a lot more. They're utilizing the puck, the Slark, and that is now breaking down beastcoast's ability to find these easier kills. It's ludicrous. Yes, correct.
I love that we're using sheep sticks on creeps now. Like, that is the speed of Dota. That seems a bit
Oh, wait. Wait. We've been looking at this all wrong. You need to buy your own helm to take over their helm to win the game. The battle of, you know, it's like Chen v Ench, but now it's just you have to invest 6k gold to fight their 6k gold.
I can't wait for you to start using this in your pubs, and everybody's going to be very upset with you.
But also in theory, it doesn't work because the Lycan just takes over the thing, starts his cooldown timer. By the time that you take it, he has it back up. So in logic, it's probably not going to work out. Meanwhile, Beast Coast, they get the Aegis. They get that advantage, which enabled them to cross the river early on, take that tier 3 into the top
There is
lane.
one thing this Thunderhide fears, and it is that, man.
But this is kind of like PSG were playing like a very defensive game now where they were trying to utilize the Lycan. But when it's like 39 minutes like this, it's very easy for Beast Coast to take other objectives on the map, be it Roshan. And now they have the Aegis. There's nothing they're afraid of because they can just push out this bot lane where Lycan was situated, get into that aggressive triangle, start skipping waves, and then it's going to make PSG feel uncomfortable because they have to make a play like into the tankiness of what Beast Coast is now.
And they do end up popping the Aeon Disc over on Chris Luck, so it is going to force him to retreat. And they do have that information. They realize that Chris Luck not nearby currently, so if they try to take a fight like it looks like they're trying to do here, trying to get the jump over into Stinger, they do manage to get that Dream Coil off on the side. They're separated quite a bit. Hector running away. He's going to try to rejoin. There it is. There's that Global Silence, followed with a nice fissure. Be able to get the kill on E. Chris Luck looking for more. They've already used the Nullifiers, hoping he can maybe get his hands over onto Faith Bien, but of course Ame is that Wolffish off to the side. Looks like they're just going to go bottom because they found themselves a Zhao 8. They've got a Hex. Can they get enough damage? Can they keep their sights on him? No, they go the other way with the fissure. Blinks forward. Looks like Zhao 8 is going to be fine. Stinger, though, is getting munched upon.
That's a slot,
here.
by the way.
That is the Wolffish, as we talked about. The legendary Wolffish. They have detection. They have some dust. They've got the sides. They've got the Echo Slam. They've got the lockdown. And even the mighty Wolffish of legend cannot survive that sort of lockdown.
Yeah, now PSG, they're just fallen victim to how hard it is for them to take a fight, right? Like when you think about the pure 5-on-5, if they want to take a fight, it needs to be a coil into an egg with Nyx kind of poking them, like, and maybe taking the shaker out of the fight of the coddle, and then you get that fight on top. But we're probably going to see maybe a highlight in a bit, but like it's the fact that the start of the fight, you got a perfect coil on the shaker on the back, but there's such a big disconnect where the Phoenix had to egg defensively from the PL, the Slark and the Lycan was situated over there. So during the entire Ags coil, you don't have any damage, and then they're scared to commit because of that slam factor. So yeah, PSG just not having the cleanest of team fights, and then Beast Coast able to just prolong it, and then their heroes are really good at taking these longer fights with Void Spirit with PL, and then the patience of Earthshaker.
Well, it feels like, oh, hold that thought. Schofield waiting in position. They've got the Hex as well. They're going to try to push it forward again. Zhao looking for this opening. They get the draw over onto E. There's no more Nyx Assassin, and Zhao 8 is now surrounded. Hector says, I'll leave that to the rest of my team. Oh, okay, you're going to come join me. That's absolutely fine. Followed by the fissure, and that's a dead puck. Buyback now from E. Wants to get back in as Hector has already popped that BKB. Still has an Aegis on him, and they're just beating down these buildings.
Yeah, and of course they've got bottom creep wave already pushed in as well, so they're not going to have any issues with backdoor in the upcoming seconds. And this should just be at least the range racks. Maybe they stay. I'm guessing like with puck no buyback, they shouldn't respect it at all. They should just go straight for even mid, maybe even top as well.
He's already silenced. You can't get a spike carapace off when you don't have the words to do it. The back line, though, it does look like they're trying to get the jump over into Chris. Like he got very, very greedy, diving in pretty hard. Now the egg and the sunray will be able to clean him up along with Ame. That Wolffish chasing after Schofield, running for his life here. The silence is in place here, but Stinger has the Glimmer Cape. Do they have the vision? Hector turns back around immediately. He's already been hit with that nullifier. Ame running away. The buyback now from Chris Luck. He wants to be a part of this.
Yeah, Slark's just doing no damage. You see in that fight, he gets the Lycan Ags on top of him. He runs in all jolly, and yeah, unfortunately for PSG.
Oh, Whisper? Chris Luck looking to see if he can catch a little fish on the end of his hook here, but...
And a really nice buyback from the Void Spirit. The fact that Zhao 8 hasn't even used his buyback, right, because he doesn't have it, they just identified he would have bought back as the Slark committed, therefore he must not have it. And that's why you see the Void Spirit then buybacking after, taking the bot racks, enabling K1 also to very comfortably then go for top. This
nice
will be
fissure.
Mega Creep.
Hex up. This should be a very dead Xingqiu. As Beast Coast just starts ripping apart all the buildings, destroying the home of PSG.LGD, and getting themselves Mega Creeps.
Beast Coast playing really, really well, playing into like the zoo idea, just making sure that they defended the towers early on. play around their big spells and make sure they always, like against Slark, you can never play in, you can't play the map too quickly. You can't run across the map, place a ward, try and fight, like you need to hold a single area and basically claim it as your own. And they basically decided the entire game that their own side of the map was their best friend. And that's enabled them to have these good fights.
The Slark can't even kill the Keeper of the Light.
He tried.
It's the silence, the hex, everything.
So many stuns,
a little bit of a zip-zap coming out here from Zhao. Is this going to be able to finally take down Whispers? He also into position, but this is not looking good for him. He is going to eventually die here. Or maybe they're just not going to care. Maybe they've got more ideas here for the Director. If they could get there fast enough, they are going to buy back with the Slark.
Yeah, Beast Coast won't be, they're not going to be unhappy with that. That's not any throws occurring. I feel like this Slark on Army, it's one of those things where they banned against Beast Coast in game 1, and then they picked it very, very quickly into game 2. So it's very much a respect thing. And also we got to see a wolf jump. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so we've not really just seen the Slark have a strong entry to the game. And early on, they found a couple kills, but never really converted those couple kills into that extra item needed to really have the presence you want from your carry. They are finding a couple pickoffs here.
They have to make this count too, because they did buy back over on Ame.
Yeah.
They do not want this to end in a 2-0 over here on PSG.LGD.
And this is kind of like their best bet now is what we're kind of seeing, right? It's we got Mega Creep, but we need to try and get a kill. They kill the Koddle. Then they instantly try and kill the Shaker as well. And maybe if you then somehow find a third kill, that's where you could be, start thinking about, oh, okay, we might be able to contest next Roshan if they're still on a death timer. But realistically, Beast Coast, they're not going to allow that. They're going to hug each other as 3. They're going to wait for their respawns, accept that they got a little bit relaxed, and then play for that next Roshan. Because if K1's in the fight, PSG are running away. They need the best fight they can take right now is maybe like a double egg from Phoenix, as he has the refresher, with an Axe coil on the puck, and then just play from there.
They do have a refresher orb online for this Phoenix, though, so
yeah,
they do have an advantage. As long as they cannot hit the egg, though, that is the big problem.
It's one of those things where you have this refresher on Phoenix, which is amazing, but you don't have that clean team fight to enable it, right? You have the puck coil, you have maybe a Nyx assassin with his impale, but you don't have that +1. If you survive the coil, you run away. They are missing a little bit of that thing in their draft, which is now at 45 minutes, it is becoming a problem. Before that, minute 20, minute 30, it's not a problem for PSG because they can just run over their opponents because items aren't really there. But now we're getting to the later portion of the game. Of course, PSG are falling victim to not having that extra element within their draft.
Oh, this is nice too. They have the shard online now for the Keeper of the Light, which means they're going to be able to just continuously push through all of these lanes and be able to bring people right back into them.
It's only a 4k lead for Beast Coast. So in fairness, PSG, they have done a really good job at just keeping themselves on this level, but we're talking about a mega creep situation here. This is Beast Coast, they need to kind of run up into the high ground and just die a couple times, have the buybacks go against them, and then maybe, but right now with how they're playing...
There's Ector in their base, by the way. He's
exactly, yeah.
Hey,
wait, I thought this was Raid? Oh, my bad, yes, it's Dire side.
I saw you had a very beautiful base. I thought that
it's a casual wolf just perusing.
They do get the break off, though, and they are a bit split off over on this back end. Oh, but the Hex, Schofield, is he going to be able to survive long enough? Krislov coming back in here. They use the BKB over on Ector, and they're forced to just run away over here on the side, although it looks like they're going to try to retreat. No, but the Dagon comes through. It gets the kill on K1. Very necessary. Zhao 8, they get another refresh here, trying to keep tabs, and Q coming forward, has the Sunray. Will end up, they throw out the fissure. Doesn't quite connect, so...
That was beautiful. He refreshed just to get the second dive with the extra range, to then get the... oh, that was beautiful. And I was just saying, for Beast Coast, the only thing that can go wrong for them is if they just kind of awkwardly walk up high ground and die, and then...
Ta-da!
They do it.
Oh, there he is again. The Hex buys a little bit more time singers here, but there's really not too much that they can do against Ame when it's just the two of them. In fact, Ame is feeling like he might go for a little bit of a swim in the Radiant base this time as he clicks away. And they try to buy
Beast Coast.
Time. Cannot.
You've got, Roshan's respawning in 40 seconds. And if you look at that top bar, Beast Coast, they're not respawning in 40 seconds.
No, they are
And this all started, because look at where K1 is. Look at the mini map. Everyone else on Beast Coast, They're nowhere near. And, I mean, Lycan beautifully stopped Schofield from instantly getting the Echo Slam into the middle of that fight.
That goes much differently if they get that Echo
Exactly,
Slam.
but he had to blink back, right? He blinked away from the fight, and then now they're going to be kicking themselves. They're smart. At least they're having fun. That's the key thing. But right there, that is a position where they are
He knows. That's what
exactly.
he goes, oh, the sorry line. You know that you've been a bit too cheeky.
The coach has already gone to, like, you know, they've run 48 minutes, high ground, right? Let's
well, you know,
if
ROTK was the coach, not Mariano, he'd be standing, just give him a whack upside the head, right?
Yeah, because, like, that's the... Like, now Roshan's up, instantly scout it out. But
good stuff on him, too.
PL is alive now. So if PSG go instantly, you can force the awkward, like, you know, double buyback on Silencer Coddle.
They have to respect Schofield, though.
100%, but they do have the ward set up. Like, if you look at the minimap right now, dire wards everywhere. There are no radiant wards around Roshan. So you see
Innocent... It's going to go down too fast. They're not going to be able to get in there.
Yeah, there it is. There you go. And this all stems from one single PL death, which could be a second if he just stuns blindly into maybe a pounce.
And no, the global silence at just the right moment here. Sunray BKB comes out. Is stunned though. It's going to buy a bit more time here for PSG.LGD to get things done. Leash does end up snapping. This is not looking good for Hector. Can he get out of here in time? He still manages to topple away. He's still alive somehow as they manage to drop off over here. Followed up with the finger with the Echo Slam. Hitting all 4 of them right off the bat. Schofield, he does pay for it with his life. They only take down E, and Ame still alive. FaithBN over on the corner. He's trying, but this is not looking good for him. He is the next one to fall. Can they get anyone else? Oh, they found Ame. He doesn't have any mana left. They're just chasing him down. Here's Fishy. A little bit more mana here for Chrislock. They tried to block off that exit route. They need the vision. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get over the fast enough. He is just too fast. But they don't have FaithBN for another 70-something seconds, and they don't have the Nyx Assassin unless he wants to buy back.
Oh, that was so close.
Okay, buy back now.
It's still looking though. Okay, but you have Lycan for, you know, for the 60 seconds. Slark does have Aegis, but now beastcoast they have to choose. Do they want to try and, you know, poke their heads up again? But Shaker doesn't have buyback this time. You know, the buyback game, that is the most critical thing right now. PL has buyback, and that's it, I believe, right? Oh, and then Keeper Light has it as well, but only Puck has it for PSG. So this is going to be a very close game of the buyback situation. Because now we've seen that both teams, they can take the fight, whoever gets the jump.
And indeed, because they found themselves a nice, tidy little pick-off. He trying to be cheeky here, trying to get some information as a Nyx Assassin will.
And he doesn't have it now, yeah.
He is down now. FaithBN's still down. Still have the Aegis online, though, for the Slark.
At the start of that fight, it was like, oh, it's PL dead, it's PL dead. Oh! Like, if he just connected the pounce into... Oh, I don't know.
I like the little... Ooh!
I mean, both of these games are just so close.
Ame waiting patiently, gets the break off over onto the L, but he does have the BKB, the jump forward over on the side, trying to take out Zhao 8, trying to make sure he cannot hold anyone in place. They have the silence. Can they burst down the puck? Yes, they can. Ame, though, is chasing after Stinger now. He's going to be able to force away. Chrislock turning back in, and they buy back on the puck. Blinding Light coming through. They've got the egg. They're trying to force them off of their shrine here, as K1 running here does have that nullifier, and is going to try to just man fight. Beautiful stun, though, coming out from Sko. Yet again, egg will come out, so it buys them just a bit more time here. FaithBN.
But the ancient, the catapults. The catapults.
They gotta get over it. You don't want to lose this.
What an ending.